Hey Kentucky, this is Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, Mark Stoops and his coaching counterpart talk about their Belk Bowl matchup. Lynn Bowden wins a major award, and you're going to find out who has the best mullet in Rockcastle County. All that and more is next on Hey Kentucky. Welcome to Hey Kentucky alongside Ryan Lemon tonight. Did you ever have a mullet?
I had a little bit of a rat tail.
Yeah.
But if I would have known we had a mullet contest, I would have let it grow out a little bit.
Yeah.
I could probably rock a mullet.
Yeah, I know you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you could.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk football, though. The coaches involved in this year's Belk Bowl are talking about the opportunity to play in the game. The pairing of Kentucky and Virginia Tech on Sunday came after a wild day filled with talk that the Cats could wind up in the Gator Bowl against Indiana. But some last-minute lobbying from Tennessee sent the Vols to Jacksonville and the Cats to Charlotte for their first ever Belk Bowl appearance. Here's what UK coach Mark Stoops had to say about the last-minute switch, followed by Virginia Tech's Justin Fuente.
You know, we have great leadership, and, you know, I leave that to them. And you know, for us, we just are looking forward to this opportunity. Our players are very excited to be here, as I mentioned. You know, coming to this bowl, it has such a great reputation, and it's a great city. And of course, you get matched up with a Virginia Tech team with the history that they have and the coaching staff. So we're excited to be here.
You know, when you play a Stoops brother, you know you're going to get great defense. And I've watched them on that side of the ball, you know, through several games. Obviously very well coached and doing a fantastic job there.
Ryan, I like our chances in this game. I really do.
Oh, I do too. And it ends up being, like the coach was saying, it's a better matchup for Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just in the Tax Slayer Bowl, playing against Indiana, but you get a chance to beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, you just beat Penn State last year. Now if you beat Virginia Tech this year, that's better on your resume than if you beat ho-hum Indiana.
Right.
Really, it is.
It is. And not that I want to think negatively, but I don't want to lose to Indiana should that happen.
That's true.
Right?
And on New Year's Eve, you'll get more eyes on your game probably than at 7 o'clock on January the 2nd when people are on like maybe football overload after watching it all day on New Year's Day.
Yes.
So I think it's a win-win for Kentucky. It really is.
I really do.
Yeah.
All
Thank you, Tennessee.
Staying with football, today brought an end to what was perhaps one of the worst kept secrets of 2019.
I gotta tell you something. All right. You are the winner of the 2019 Paul Hornung Award.
Oh no!
Yes, congratulations!
I appreciate it.
He had some tears. We want to thank Susan Lax she captured that video right after Lynn had a tooth pulled this morning, so that's why half of his face is frozen. But they shouldn't even have this award if they weren't going to give it to Lynn Bowden.
Yeah, that's what Mark Stoops kept saying. Why, if you don't give it to him, why even have the award? The Paul Hornung Award that's named after Lynn Bowden for what he did this year. Happy for him. He deserved it. Nobody else deserved it but him. I'm sure he got 17 of the 18 votes.
Yeah.
Didn't get that fan vote because Nebraska had some robot or something voting for Wandale Robinson. Congratulations for Lynn Bowden.
I mean, it's so awesome. So he's going to get the award in March. That's when they have the whole ceremony and everything. Randall Cobb was a finalist for this back in 2010. But obviously, he's the only Kentucky guy to have ever won this.
Yeah, back-to-back seasons we've had national award winners with Josh Allen winning all those national awards last year and Lynn Bowden this year. I mean, what great publicity for the football program.
I know. Kentucky football on the rise.
On the rise.
Why not us?
Why not?
Bring it.
Come see about it.
See about it. All right. Well, it's no secret that UK offensive coordinator Eddie Gran's name has been tossed around as a guy ready to take over a program on his own, but it seems the door at Florida Atlantic is closed. Yesterday brought a series of confusing reports from the Sunshine State. It started with the Owl's Nest reporting that players were pulling for defensive coordinator Glenn Spencer to get the job. Spencer was interviewed. Then the same Twitter account said Gran was expected to be on campus to be interviewed. That was later deleted. And then a short time later, another tweet saying they received some incorrect information and that Gran was not on campus, apologizing for the confusion. But this afternoon, there are now reports that Florida Atlantic hired Florida State's Willie Taggart, whose career includes a stint at Western Kentucky, Ryan. So Willie Taggart has been at now 3 different schools in 3 years, I think.
And now he's
something
going
like
to
that.
coach against Western
Yes.
Kentucky, the fact they play each other every year and be in that same conference. I mean, I can see why Florida Atlantic was interested in Eddie Gran, especially his big recruiting connections he has now down in Florida, the great year he's done as a coordinator here at Kentucky. Somebody's going to come after him. It's got to be the right position. But for Willie Taggart, once again, has found a position where maybe he can succeed down there. They've got good talent. That's why I can see why Eddie Gran was maybe also interested in Florida Atlantic.
I'll be honest, I would have, if I'm FAU, I would have rather had Eddie Gran
Probably
than
so.
Willie Taggart.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of
He hasn't won wherever he's been.
No. Yeah. So, all right, let's turn to Kentucky volleyball. Speaking of winning, Coach Craig Skinner and his Cats are getting some recognition from the American Volleyball Coaches Association. Skinner won Region Coach of the Year, and senior outside hitter Leah Edmond won Region Player of the Year. Additionally, Edmond, Madison Lilly, Gabby Curry, Leah Meyer, and Allie Stumler were all named to the 14-personnel region team. All 5 players now eligible to be named AVCA All-Americans when the announcement is made by the organization next week. This is back-to-back years, Ryan, for Craig Skinner winning Region Coach of the Year. Leah Edmond won it 2 years ago. Kentucky's won the Region Player of the Year the last 3 years. It's time for the Sweet 16, and I really want them to take that next step this year.
They've been to the Elite Eight one time.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to, now they've got on the verge where maybe they could even surpass that. And we're looking at probably the best volleyball player to ever play at the University of Kentucky.
Hands down.
Hands down. I mean, she is a superstar. Hoping they can get to the Elite Eight and maybe make it to the Final Four. I mean, what Coach Skinner has done, we don't talk about it enough, really. He has developed a great program over there at the University of Kentucky.
And Leah Edmond, the pride of Paul Lawrence Dunbar.
How about that?
I know, so cool.
And good luck to her.
All right, in other news, there's a very disturbing story unfolding in Gallatin County. A high school teacher has been placed on leave after he allegedly grabbed a female student by the throat. School administrators say they are nearing a resolution on the issue, but the teen's parents want the teacher fired. They do say the teacher called and apologized.
We asked him why he decided to grab her by her throat, and he had no explanation of why. He said that he was having a bad day, and we were informed today that he gets to keep his job. He got 3 days of unpaid suspension, I guess, and 3 days of paid, and that he has to have someone sit 12 hours with him in a class, and that he will have to do anger management. I feel disgusted that they would allow for him to walk back in there like nothing ever happened.
Jennifer Stewart says before this happened, her daughter never had an issue in the classroom, and now the 16-year-old has had to deal with bullying at the school. Ryan, we all have bad days. You can't do that to a student if that in fact happened.
And by calling and apologizing, that's almost like
It's
an admission
admission,
of guilt. And at the school corporation, I feel like now their hands are tied. They have to fire him. You cannot do that. You can't choke a student.
And it was another student that actually reported it to the principal. It wasn't her, so there was corroboration from all sides.
And I mean, isn't that assault?
Yeah.
I mean, let alone what it is in the classroom, that's assault.
Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, brutal. All right, now to our weekly feature on Hey Kentucky, the Smoothest Drive, brought to you by Infinity of Lexington. And Ryan, this one had to come from Texas Tech. They beat Louisville last night in New York City. The Red Raiders broke free and clear for the drive to the basket. 70-57 win over number 1 Louisville. That is now the 4th number 1 to go down. That is tonight's Smoothest Drive, brought to you by Infinity of Lexington, where they believe luxury should be lived in. Nobody wants to be number 1 anymore. Up next on Hey Kentucky, it was a battle of the bangs in Rockcastle County over the weekend. We'll go to the mullet competition at the high school when we return.